Another one. Don't worry, guys. I know I let you down the first time. This time I'm prepared. You know, I'm gonna take down notes. Jokes aside, first time I reacted to the first Kendrick Lamar diss song, I got flamed by the Kendrick Lamar fans. That was my first reaction. When I do reactions, they're my first initial reactions. That's how I've always done it. I don't check the Instagram, the Twitter. I don't check the social media feedback. I do raw reactions. This is just a warning. You can disagree with me, it's fine. But a lot of you started sending threats. It got weird. And I was like, I've gotten that in the past, but never intellectually. I've never been intellectually threatened. Paragraphs on paragraphs, questioning my hip-hop card and my college education. But I digress, right? You can't please everyone. Fuck all that shit. Drake, where the hell are you? Kendrick Lamar dropped again. He seems to be pulling a Drake back-to-back. He warned us on the song, back-to-back. I like that record. Oh, let me get back to that record. Oh, I'm gonna get back to that record, right? And on the cover art to Euphoria, he says, trying to recover, almost recovering. The guy's almost recovering from a week's defeat. He's been warning Drake this whole time. And now we have 6/16 in LA. And 6/16 also happens to be Canadian Father's Day. Father's Day in Canada. And also 6/16 is Tupac's birthday, if I recall. Because I remember 6/16 being like a thing online. There's probably a Bible verse as well. Even the titles are strategic. The cover art people gotta analyze still. Let me know what you guys think. It's a glove, like a Michael Jackson glove, Maybach glove, maybe. Is that his glove or is that Drake's glove? A timestamp record, again, using Drake's narrative. So far, after analyzing it more, I have Kendrick Lamar winning round one. Is this still round one? What is going on? I think this is like the most genius strategy ever. If Drake drops today after this, it has to be, I don't know, man, because he shot his hand too soon. But technically, he dropped 2 records. So maybe this is Kendrick Lamar's way of saying, hey, I'm going to drop 2 records too. Yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. This has to be one of the greatest years in hip-hop history. It has to be. It has to be. This is like, when have you ever seen Kendrick Lamar drop this consistently? He probably has 5 more songs just waiting to drop.
Off-white Sunseeker at the marina. Fuck a phantom, I like to buy yachts when I get the fever. Trifecta, money, morals, and culture. That's my leisure, my visa. Passport tatted, that's your hub in Ibiza. God, my confession is yours. But who am I if I don't go to war? Raise my hands to a fallen sky. I fantasize, put my children to sleep with a prayer, then close my eyes. Definition of peace. Tell me who gon' stop me. Remember when picked up a pen, lyrics that I can trust. Timid soul, staring in the mirror, asking where I was from often. But the industry's cooked as I pick the carcass apart. Yeah, somebody's lying, I can see the vibes on act. Even he looking compromised. Let's peel the layers back. Harassing ant, fucking with good people, make good people go to bed. Cash dog, that's not even the leak. Find the jewels like cash dog. I just need you to think. Have you ever thought that OVO is working for me? Fake bully, I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person. Your team is whispering that you deserve it. Can't Tootsie slide up out of this one, it's just gonna resurface. It's fun until you start to put money in the streets. I'm sorry that I live a boring life. I love peace, but war ready if the world is ready to see you bleed. No, you can't sleep, these images trouble you. Know the wires in your circle should puzzle you. 100 niggas that you got on salary, and 20 of them want you as a casualty. And one of them is actually next to you and just don't got the audacity to tell you. But let me tell you some game, cause I can see you, my little homie. You're playing nerdy with Zach Bia and Twitter bots, but your reality can't hide behind Wi-Fi. It's time that you look around on who's around you. Before you figure that you're not alone, ask what Mike would do.
Alright, objectively, musically, he does not care about making a hit record. He is trying to just respond and diss him, right? Like That was better musically than everything that's been released so far. Euphoria, I feel like it's going to be classic in due time. It feels like a classic coming. In a couple years, you're going to look back at it like, oh, that's a classic song. Not a hit record, but it's still #1, right? Like, it's breaking records. Doesn't have to be commercial like I thought. Like, it's still breaking records. And now we have this one. We're going to break down what he's saying. That's the most important part here, because it sounds like interlude-ish. It's not meant to be a literal back-to-back. Whoa! Back-to-back. When Drake did back-to-back, that second one was the harder one. Charged Up was the softer one. The second one was the harder one. Euphoria, I think, was the harder one. And then now we have the 616 in LA. This one is the softer one, but it still is a back-to-back, right? So when you combine both of them, it is a lethal attack. He's winning. He's winning. He might have just recorded this morning. I feel like he should have released this one first and then Euphoria. What do you guys think? Comment down below. I'm here to hear your opinions out. If you guys agree, disagree, it's fine. I do these videos for each other, right? So let's open the community up. Comment down below. Now, when you check the producer credits, this song was produced by Soundwave, which he's always worked with for years, but also Jack Antonoff. Jack Antonoff is the main producer with Taylor Swift. He works with Taylor Swift directly. So Drake maybe was right with that whole joking of like Taylor Swift and that's your boss, whatever. He probably knows that Kendrick Lamar's next project, whatever he was working on next, was with Taylor Swift's team. So he's got that down packed. Maybe Jack produced for Kendrick now, and Kendrick did it in a response to Taylor made. The second song that you dropped, this is my second song, and now it's produced by Taylor Swift's producer, right? It could be that. Let's play it back again one more time. Let's analyze it. Right there, it sounds almost like he's recording on his phone or something. You hear like the rough in the beginning?
Smell somebody lying. I don't see no fire.
Smells like somebody lying. I see somebody's lying. I don't see no fire. Somebody's lying. He's talking about Drake. Drake said that he was going to drop, right after he had something ready, because he's telling Kendrick, drop. It's Friday. Drake has not dropped. 4 days later, where y'all at?
Off-white Sunseeker, head the marina. Fuck a phantom, I like to buy yachts when I get the fever. Trifecta, money, morals, and culture. That's my leisure, my visa. Passport tatted, I shall hub in a beat. God, my confession is yours. Put my children to sleep with a prayer, then close my eyes. Definition of peace. Tell me who gon' stop me. I come, but the industry's cooked as I pick the carcass apart.
So that whole intro to me just sounds like something that has nothing to do with the diss, but at the end he reminds you, as I pick the corpus apart. So he's like talking about Drake's body, right? I bodied him, I'm gonna pick the corpus now. I'm gonna play with his body now. Could be something unreleased from Big Steppers, Mr. Morale. Kendrick Lamar has a lot of unreleased music, right? And there's always like, he has like a 16 more bars, 16 more minutes. There's a whole nother album that he has that side B to this. So people know that he records a lot of music, just doesn't drop it. Now let's pick the corpus apart. Let's see what he starts with.
Somebody's lying, I can see the vibes on act. Even he looking compromised. Let's peel the layers back. Harassing ant. Fucking with good people, make good people go to bed.
He's saying that academics, basically Drake fans and Drake media teams, are looking scared. And then he also says, why are you picking on ants? Drake was picking on Kendrick Lamar's manager, Anthony Saleh. This is the guy that Drake's been posting on his IG story. Kendrick's like, why are you picking on good people? He's a good person. Why are you doing that?
Conspiracies about cash, dog, that's not even the leak. I just need you to think. Are you finally ready to play? Have you ever, let's see, have you ever thought that OVO is working for me?
Wow. All right. So conspiracy about cash, dog. He's talking about Cash. EXO. That whole thing, remember, EXO, Cash, that's The Weeknd's manager. He's the guy that a lot of people are saying is behind all of this. It's not Metro Boomin. It's just that The Weeknd doesn't like Drake, so they're conspiring against him. EXO Cash got robbed, and his security guard got shot last week. Any connection to this? We don't know. The Weeknd said, you got leaks in your operation. When they got leaks in their operation. So he's like, oh, that's not even the leak. By the way, they're not leaking it. Are you finally ready to play? Have you ever? Let's see. Have you ever thought that OVO was working for me? So Kendrick's alluding to maybe he's the guy behind the scenes leaking.
I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team is whispering that you deserve it. See, slide about it. This one is just gonna resurface. Every dog gotta have his day.
Fake bully. I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team is whispering that you deserve it. You can't 2C slide up out this one. It's gonna resurface. Every dog gotta have his day. Now live in your purpose. Everyone inside your team is whispering that you deserve it. So there has to be a leak in Drake's camp. The Weeknd said it. You got leaks in your operation. Kendrick is saying it now. It must be true. Drake's own team doesn't like him? This is like a war tactic, right? Because Drake, even if it's fake, Drake's gonna question his team. He's trying to plant that inside of his team. Remember, 40 was sleep talking to a girl, and that's how Pusha T found out that Drake lost his Adidas deal, or had an Adidas deal, and that had a kid.
the information came from 40.
And everything. That's how allegedly Pusha T found that out. People were like, "Oh, is Drake gonna cut 40 off?" He never did, because he's like, he probably forgave him. He's like, "Oh, my bad. Let's keep the circle tighter." This is like mafia talk, damn near. This reminds you of like the Godfather movie, like when there's people within your own family and friend group that turn up against you. This is starting to feel cinematic. This is starting to get more climatic, whether you like the song or not.
It was fun until you start to put money in the streets. They lost money cause they came back with no receipts. I'm sorry that I live a boring life.
Nigga, bomb! So he's saying it was fun until you start putting money in the streets and lost money because they came back with no receipts. I'm sorry that I live a boring life. I love peace, but war ready if the world is ready to see you bleed. Again, Joe Budden, me, a bunch of other podcasters throughout the week have been saying that they want to see Drake battle tested. You want to see your favorite artist bleed, right? That concept. Kendrick Lamar is doing that now. Drake put money out in the streets trying to dig up dirt on Kendrick Lamar, but he could not find nothing. Why? Because Kendrick Lamar says, "I'm sorry I live a boring life." He's a regular guy. But how's he finding this out? People are probably coming back to him, telling him, "Hey, yo, bro, they try to pay me a couple Canadian dollars."
The Elohim KTW. No, you can't sleep. These images trouble you.
The Elohim KTW. Remember? He mentioned the Elohim before. The divine power, the Elohim. The God in Hebrew. You know, Kendrick Lamar's had Hebrew references. When was the Elohim, the rebirth? Was that in Family Ties? I believe he's saying that, Drake, I know you can't sleep. These images trouble you. No, the wires in your circle should puzzle you.
100 niggas that you got on salary, and 20 of them want you as a casualty, and one of them is actually next to you.
If you were street smart, then you would have caught that your entourage is trying to hustle you. He says one of them is actually next to you. Who's the closest one to him? Chubbs, 40, Nico. Like, who, you know what I'm saying? This is very specific lines that Kendrick is saying. This is crazy. And he says that two of them is practically tied to your lifestyle. This is getting deeper. If true. If true.
You're playing nerdy with Zach Bia and Twitter bots, but your reality can't hide behind Wi-Fi.
You're playing dirty with Zach Bia and Twitter bots. If you don't notice, during the Pusha T battle, everyone was getting called Salamander. Pusha T's a Salamander on Twitter. So Drake has been using Twitter bots, right? Without being directly tied to it. He pays probably a company. I've always alluded to this. And it's smart because, it, you know, meme culture, internet culture, it could work. But it gets annoying because you catch on. Now he's saying Zach Bia has something to do with this. I've always wondered, what the fuck does Zach Bia do for money? I know he's a DJ. He seems to be like a dope guy because a lot of people know him. He's into fashion. But I'm always like, what the fuck does he do? Is he just a rich white kid that has connections? Or does he do something else, right? Does he just make money from being a DJ? What the fuck does he do? His music's good, but he doesn't have a lot of music. Maybe Zach Bia is behind the Twitter bots. If Zach Bia is a Twitter bot guy, Twitter bot company, that's crazy.
It's time that you look around on who's around you. Before you figure that you're not alone, ask what Mike would do.
Again, the Michael Jackson reference, right? What would Mike do? Ask what Michael Jackson would do. Your memes is losing steam. They figured you out. The forced opinion is not convincing you. Y'all need a new route. It's time you look around on who's around you before you figure out you're not alone. Ask what Mike would do. So basically what Kendrick Lamar is doing, this whole song, he's playing a mind game with Drake. He's telling him, hey, everything you've done so far, the memes and everything to come against me and try to bait me, I'm ready for it. I dropped Euphoria, boom. After Euphoria, now all the memes and everything is going against Drake. If you notice, the whole internet's kind of going against Drake now. Even Drake's own fans, right? They're like, And even people who try to be objective. I was trying to be objective. I'm like, nah, this is not enough to beat Drake, right? The first reaction. But that was the first listen. First listen, literally minutes after. Then when you dive deeper into the song and you really read the lyrics and everything, I'm like, oh shit. No. There's a deeper, darker criminal link. Same thing here, where this one is more surface level, more understandable. But I feel like he just recorded this, right, recently. And it's more like a follow-up. Like, hey, just letting you know, I'm ready. And by the way, the internet game's not going to work. Stop trying to dig up dirt. I'm keeping you updated. I'm not going to tweet. I'm not going to post an IG post, right? I'm going to post an IG post with the song. This is Kendrick Lamar. He that's what I respect about him the most. Say what you want. He responds and does everything through music. He doesn't do interviews, right? He keeps it in the art. So it's a way to feed the fans and for you to get explanation at the same time. He's coming at academics. He's basically coming at the whole ideology of the fan base and the culture, the propaganda, right? Because Drake, I've always said that you can't out-internet Drake. Is he being out-interneted now? He's playing his game, right? Back to back, just the idea of dropping another song. And then we have the IG post. Drake made a post with the AI song. Now, people are going to be confused. Are we going to say Push-Ups versus Euphoria and the AI tailor-made song versus this one? Or does it not matter? I'm at the point that I've gotten so annoyed and confused that I feel like I don't care about the round or what number it is. Because now that Kendrick dropped 2 songs, Drake did drop 2 songs. Have I lost confidence though? Do you guys think that Drake can't respond and it be impressive? I think that he still can. I think he still has the opportunity to. Because if you notice, Kendrick still hasn't gotten the hardest beat he can, right? He's still keeping it musically like beautiful and simple. And in the first Euphoria had the build up, which is fire. I love the ending. But it's still strategic, like, hey, I'm not making a hit record. I'm not trying to do that, right? But then if Drake goes and does that, can it make people forget about this? I think that's when Kendrick is going to pick up that sort of energy of like, all right, you guys want to do that? You want a fucking hook? Let me give you a fucking hook. But he's going to do it his own fucking way, right? It's not going to be like a pop hook. It's going to be something that's like a funny digging at Drake. This seems to be more of a lyrical battle than I think people expected. It's really going to come down to that. Like, Drake needs to get in his lyrical bag, which I think he can. And he really needs to actually open up the talk, right? Doesn't have to just be about dirt. But if you can't find nothing, don't make it like, oh, I'm not going to drop the diss song yet. You need to respond, right? He needs to respond. Am I wrong? Because at this point, it seems like Kendrick has more dirt on Drake. But then at the same time, it could be lies. It could be a manipulative game where he's like making it seem like he lives a simple life. There's no dirt on me. Stop trying to dig up dirt on me. I feel like Kendrick's watching his reaction. I feel like he watches everything. I feel like he pays attention and he's tapped in. This is about to be a 7-game series. And my prediction so far is Kendrick Lamar. Because Drake should have never dropped the AI song. Looking back at it. Because if you're going to drop it, make it a real song. I wish that was a real song. Like how Kendrick just did a real song. It's not an AI song. I wish it was a real song, fully you, sample cleared, and you release it, right? That would have been a way to be like, damn, he got 2 songs. Now people are not even counting that record. They just care about push-ups. We don't know these people. We can only assume that as a person, Kendrick Lamar is a better person than Drake, more holistic, more pure, right? I've always assumed that. Because Drake's always, he's the type to sleep with people's girls, etc. And even playing into the whole XXXtentacion dying, like he does, like shot him in daylight throughout these records, throughout these years. I've always said that that's been one of my biggest gripes with Drake. Like, why would you do that? If you didn't kill that man, then say it. But stop playing into it, because now people are always going to think that you did. It's weird. That's weird. That's all. I never loved that. You can't do that. That's just weird, right? But he didn't like him, so it could be a personal thing. God bless. But musically, let's go back to the music. Kendrick Lamar, bro. This is why Kendrick Lamar is the fucking boogeyman. This is why I've been saying for years, where are you, Kendrick? Because I know his capabilities. Bro, we are just getting started. We're just getting started. Like, we're just getting started. This is going to last probably all year. This is not going to stop anytime soon. Kendrick Lamar is ready. Subscribe, comment down below. Love you guys. Podcast coming on Monday night live on YouTube, Club Ambition Podcast. Cap. Also, if you want to promote anything, want to connect with me, clubambition401email.com, patreon.com/clubambition. Support us on there. And DM me. It's a vibe. Yeah, this is crazy. What a day. Let me know how I did. Let me know if I cashed everything. I think everyone has to accept this. This is the reality. Drake, where the fuck are you? Where the fuck are you, Drake?
Let me for my ambition.